Hey guys, welcome back to this channel, and a special welcome to those of you that come back to this channel for the easy recipes. I know some of you were a little bit worried about me and Mike. We're doing fine. The cats are fine. We're just taking a little break. As they say, sometimes life happens. So, but we're back, and today we're going to share with you a very, very nice recipe. It's a recipe with a story. Because those of you that love Disney, watch Disney vlogs, Disney videos, I'm sure you've heard and seen the Disney churros, which is inspired by the Mexican version of churros. And I always told Mike, and at the beginning I think he didn't believe me. I always told Mike that I grew up with a different kind of churros. So I don't know. I don't know of the kind in Disney or the Mexican kind. I only know the Spanish kind. So the Spanish churro is one that you do not make from a cookie maker, but it's actually one that you fry. So that's the big difference. And in Spain and Spain colonies, which was where I grew up, in one of the Spanish colonies, we actually use the churros that I will be making with you as add on to your breakfast. So if you have a breakfast, you can add on these churros. Or if you do a little brunch, or maybe around 4 o'clock as a snack with a cup of tea. So, but it's not really used as a dessert or as a cookie or something that you submerge in sugar as they do in Disney. With all respect, I mean, to each their own. But
like we're going to do right now.
Huh?
Like we're going to do
We're not going to do right now, not submerged in sugar, no. What we're gonna do?
Mine will.
Yeah, okay. Well, I don't know if after you've seen it, you're still agree that there should be sugar on it. So this one is the Spanish recipe, the Spanish churros.
No sugar.
No sugar, no. For that one, you need what they call the chorrera. This is nothing more than this piece of little machine where you press the dough through to get these kind of shapes. So if you don't have a chorrera, you can find it on eBay. If you don't have a chorrera, what you can do is get one of these small bottles, preferably small, not this one, and get and heat your a knife that you're not going to be using or don't care about if it discolors, and then just make about 8 incisions here to make so one little hole in the middle, and then to that hole just make 8 incisions to create a star shape where you can squeeze the dough through to get these edges, because they need these edges. This is not just cosmetic. This is how you get the churro to fry like well. So let's just start. So what you need is the chorrera, or this. You need about 200 grams of all-purpose flours. Make sure that you sift it. I don't care, even if you've stored it, sift. Make sure that when you make this, sift it again. You need about half tablespoon of sugar. You need about 2 tablespoons of sunflower oil. You need about 7 grams of vanilla sugar.
Or vanilla essence.
Or no, I would go for the vanilla sugar.
Yeah, but that's not available.
Okay, so it's not available. Then maybe a little bit of vanilla essence, a pinch of salt, 300 milliliter of water. I think that's it. I don't think I forgot something. Let me see. So we need water, we need flour. I'm gonna put these in the ingredients in the description box, so don't worry. We need water, we need flour, we need oil, we need sugar, we need salt, we need vanilla sugar, and we need the chorrera, or like I said, use a plastic bottle and then do the incisions on the top. That's it. Let's just start, guys. You're gonna love this. Me as a child, I was addicted to this. Okay, so we had these booths on the street where you can go and just buy them, not a single piece, but buy them actually per kilo. That's how crazy everyone is about this kind of churros. You just buy them per kilo or whatever. But I mean, you could buy 1 or 2, but I think the guy would give you raised eyebrows, because who buys 1 or 2? Because they're so good. Anyway, so let's just make them. Let's just share with you the Spanish / Moroccan churros. So, guys, one disclaimer before I start. Let me warn you that last time that I made this or saw my mom make this or even had them is before we moved to Holland. So that's when I was about 9 years old and I'm now 42. So you do the math. So it really is the first time for me ever, and it's fun to be making this and to be sharing it with Mike. This is the first time ever for me since I was 9 years old. And like I said, I'm now 42. So a disclaimer, if anything goes wrong, at least I can blame that. So let's just start. First, we need to add the flour. Like I said, sifted flour, purpose flour, 200 grams. So guys, you need a skillet. Make it your best skillet, meaning the one that does not stick. Okay, so get the skillet, one that does not stick, and add the water, 1/2 tablespoon of sugar, and a pinch of salt. Then I'm gonna add this sachet of vanilla sugar and 2 tablespoons of you can use olive oil or sunflower oil. Let me do that and come back to you. So guys, after we mixed here the water, the pinch of salt, the sugar, the 2 tablespoons of oil, vanilla sugar, I think that's it. I hope I didn't forget anything. Now we're gonna bring this to boil and then come back to you. Keep mixing meanwhile, but it needs to boil first, and then we can continue with adding the flour little by little while we're mixing the whole thing together. So guys, while this is boiling, let me show you if you don't have a chorrera, you want to do the trick with the bottle. Let me just show you the size, what you can keep in mind while trying to make these openings. Like I said, you can make 8 or you can make just about what they used here, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can also make 6 big ones. So how it works is you add the dough in there, and then you have this presser, as I like to call it. See, that presses the dough through the opening into your skillet. So guys, there it is. It's boiling. Now turn the heat to the lowest point, okay, like the lowest point that you can have, and then add the flour all at once, like this. And then start mixing. Okay? Don't worry. It looks lumpy, but we're gonna have to keep mixing until it's really mixed well together. So stay on it. I'm here with you guys along the way, don't worry. Use a little bit of force if needed to get the dough from each other, to separate it. And this is very important, this part, so. See? Anyway, so I have to put you guys down because I need one hand to hold the skillet and the other hand to mix this really well. So what you need to do is keep mixing this until you don't see any white flour. Okay? So really need the other hand. But you get the idea. So guys, look, the skillet is completely dry. So once there is nothing more that you can absorb, put it in one of these bowls and continue working with it, really. Still, continue working with it as it's still hot. So be careful, but you really need to do this. Preferably actually knead it as soon as you can. Start kneading it with your hands. But
You need it,
yeah. But make sure that you only do that after it's cool enough and safe enough for you to actually touch it. Yes. So as soon as you can guys touch it, remember it's still hot. So my hands are red because it's still hot. Just keep kneading it like this. See, it's still very soft. This is what you want.
It smells good.
It's still very soft. Yeah. So just mix it really well, and then once you're done, you have to put it in a bag with a Ziploc because this dough needs to stay warm at all times while working with it. So whenever you take a little bit, put it in your chorrera or in your bottle, you need to zip the bag because this needs to stay warm at all times. So I'm not going to use too much time explaining. I'm going to put this in a bag, come back to you guys. So use the same skillet to fry the churros, and to save yourself the dishes. So I just added the oil. Just make sure that you add enough oil because they do need kind of to be submerged while frying them. So wait for the oil to heat up. Again, be careful, guys. If you're one that does not fry, has never fried anything, please be careful. We're working with hot oil, so make sure there are no kids around tagging you or pulling you, or there are no pets, nothing. Just make sure that it's you working on this. You're now the captain on the bridge. So I'm gonna wait for the oil to heat up, and then meanwhile, like I said, keep the dough in a closed bag because this is not allowed to cool off. Otherwise, your churros are gonna spoil. So just
You want me to mix the cinnamon and sugar already?
No cinnamon. I'm gonna put this in the chorrera as soon as I see that the oil is hot, and then try to press the churros little by little until I'm done. So guys, what you do is when you stuff your chorrera, see, we just use this. What you do is get some dough, and then how do you say that? Just shape it in more like a long shape, and then put it in there, and then make sure you figure out how to add the lid, and you pump down the thing that presses the dough out of it. Okay, so what I do just to be safe is just do one long string like this, and then cut it with a knife. Or what you can do is this one is really thick, but what you also
That's mine.
Yeah, what you also can do is they provide you with different openings, thickness of the opening. You can also add a different thickness, more like less thick, which will give you a less thick churro. And then what you can do is, like they do in Spain, is you make it into a loop. I cannot do this with this is too thick, but you bring it to kind of a loop. So, all right. So the oil is hot enough. Let's add our churros, you guys. Don't add too much. They need the space because we're gonna be turning them with a wooden
spoon.
Well, preferably with wooden spoon because this is your best skillet. Remember I told you get the best skillet?
Get the best skillet.
One that does not stick. That's big. No, you do not want something that's non-sticky, like 100% non-sticky. So I've been telling Mike about the Spanish churros, I think ever since I knew him. 13 years. And he's always telling me, don't tell me.
14 years.
Almost 14 years. And he keeps always telling me, don't tell me, make me taste it. For some
then
reason.
He said, well, I don't have the machine.
I don't have the machine,
Well,
I don't have this, I don't have the recipe.
Oh, I don't have the time.
I don't have the time. I don't feel like it. I don't this.
So, there you have it.
There you have it. So guys, these are your churros and they smell delicious. I'm already back. I just traveled back in time. Just my body is here. My mind is back to where I was a child. Guys, so Mike just opened the chorrera to refill it. Look, nothing sticks, nothing in there. So this is how soft your dough must be. All right, so Mike, again, you can put it in there, jam it, or you can just shape it a little bit till it's long enough to fit through the opening. See? And then make sure that this, Mike just figured it out. I forgot, I was just doing it all wrong. Make sure that this is clear, sticks out clear, and that's how we start the pump the jam. Okay. As the more you pump, the more this comes down, and once it reaches this point, it means it's empty. All right, so what about the churros? They really need to be like a clear goldish brownish color before you
Shall
take
I
them
prepare
out.
the sugar and the cinnamon?
No. Well, you can on yours, but I'm not gonna eat mine with sugar and cinnamon. All right, so what you're gonna notice is that you need to reach a certain point before you start to get the resistance and the pressure. So what I'm doing right now is I'm lowering it to the point where it will actually start to push the dough. Or you can also use your hand like this to fasten the process. So here we are. I think I'm there. So what you do is make sure you do not break the dough string. Make sure you do not pull at it. Make a little bit of a snake. Oh, I think we're done, Mike. See, I cannot.
Oh, we're done.
And then just, yeah, we hit bottom like we sometimes do in life. So then cut them small like this, especially if you have
bite size.
bite size. Yeah, especially if you have kids, it's nice to just give them small size, and then these I will do in two. So there you have it. And this is the first batch, which is already ready, as you can see. Again, guys, we're working with really hot oil, so be careful.
I will.
Don't press it too much, otherwise you're gonna lose the typical riches of typical shape of churros. Just be careful. It's very delicate, otherwise you're gonna bend those edges. So that's it, you guys. This is how it will turn out. If you decide to make the Spanish/Moroccan churros, please let us know how yours came out. Again, if you don't like the more like the sweet Mexican/American churro, or actually I should say the Disney churro, you're more like of savory, is that how you say it? Try these.
Yeah, that's not me.
That's not you? Well, try it at least and give them an honest opinion. So
yeah.
guys, Mark is going to try it and give you his honest opinion. It's okay, you can say that it's not your style, that you prefer the sweet one. I don't mind. Is it that bad? Guys, I love them. This is something really
Let
from...
me try one
Yeah, you already finished one. Mike was joking. What he said is, because I was worried that he didn't feel comfortable enough to criticize this, although I asked him. What he says is that he does like the churros with added flavor. I think he means either sugar or cinnamon or both. You can do that with this one. It's just not my favorite, but you can do that. And again, I would advise you to make them less thick. So if you get a chorrita, really, just go for
Get the smaller.
get the smaller one. Yeah, because this one is really big. So what happens when they're this big, the dough sometimes on the inside is less crispy. So that I learned. But there you have it. Guys, one true story. This is the same one that my mom used to use. You know, when we were little, when she used to make them for us. Isn't that crazy? That something from your childhood is still being produced in the same way, the same package. Although it does seem like old and vintage, so maybe this is just some leftover that someone decided to start.
No, I don't think
No?
so.
Let me see if I can see any year on this one. Oh, no year. Okay. Oh, it doesn't matter. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, yeah, don't make them this thick. Make them thin enough to actually turn them into a circle, if you know what I mean. That's the way my mom used to make them. And they'll bake thoroughly. So, and again, another thing, eat them up as soon as you serve them. So I ended up making some for Mike with cinnamon and sugar, just to make him happy. And there are mine. Rico.